Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to the Blender Challenge. We're going to have a lighting challenge today, so I don't actually mind which 3D models you have in your scene. I have just got a monkey, but I want something animated where the lights change. I've got two coloured spotlights and another light which moves across the scene to make the shadows move. I want the most dynamic, interesting lighting animated sequence. That wins today's challenge. So how do we do it? Let's have a look. I'm going to start with a monkey. So delete the cube, X, Shift A, add a plane for the monkey to sit on. Shift A, add a monkey. GZ. Let's right click and shade smooth. If I press 0 on the numpad, I can look through the whatchamacallit, the camera, that's the one. Or if I just push my mouse wheel in, I can look from any direction. But it's quite helpful to know where the camera is, because that's what will be rendered if we render the scene. I'm going to make the monkey face the camera, R, and then Z to rotate around the Z axis, and then click when it's pointing that way. Okay, so this does not look very dynamic. It's default lighting. Let's click on the rendered mode so that we can see the shadows better. And then let's make this light move. So this is the default light in the scene, and I'm pressing G to grab it. But this along here is the timeline. I'm going to make sure that we have 60 frames. So let's make the end of the animation 60 frames, and it will just keep repeating from frame 1 to frame 60, but nothing happens yet. We need to put keyframes in. Keyframes are where change happens, and then Blender will put tweening in between frames automatically for us. How does that work? It's nice and easy. Let's press the record button, and that means whenever you move something, you'll notice a blob appears on the timeline, which means it's remembered that movement, that change, whatever it is that you've done. Then we can click along the timeline and say, let's grab that light and put it over there. We've got another blob on the timeline. And notice if you move along the timeline like this, I'm clicking and holding the mouse wheel, that light now moves. So we're going to go back to the timeline, beginning of the timeline, sorry, Shift A, let's add a light and a spotlight. GZ to move it up. It's a very dim light. Look, if we click on the light bulb tab to see the spotlight properties, it's only a 10-watt bulb. I wanted to make it a kilowatt bulb, 1000 watts, and you can just about see the spotlight now. Now, spotlight's directly above someone doesn't look very exciting, so let's move it slightly to the sides. Press R, and actually pressing R twice gives you a little bit more freedom on where the spotlight is pointing. And you can change the radius, which isn't all that helpful, or the size, and the blend is like how soft it is. That's quite nice. And obviously the colour, that's the nicest thing, to get some warmth or mysterious alien glow, whatever you want. And then remember, you can animate it. So if I make it start on this side of the scene, over there, move along to the end of the scene, oops, I don't want to move it, escape, rotate it, something like that. We've now got not a very exciting animated lighting scene, but it is an animated lighting scene. Let's add, oh, in fact, Shift D, duplicate, RR to rotate. Let's change the colour to a cold blue. Let's change the intensity so it goes, I don't know, 2 kilowatts. And then make sure we move it slightly to put the keyframe in. Move to the end of the animation, grab it, and move it. Will it work? Can you make a more interesting lit scene than this? Think of colours to portray a mood. I don't mind what 3D objects are in your scene, but I want to see the lighting animated. You can actually animate the colours as well as the position and everything like that. Let's just pause the animation. Look, if I go at the beginning of the scene, this is blue. I could put my mouse over the colour and press I to insert a keyframe. And at the end of the scene, over here, I can change that to like red and put another keyframe in. And it will hopefully remember all of that, maybe, possibly. It should change from blue to red in the animation. So there we go. that is your Blender challenge for today.